Welcome to Friendly Math 101. Today's lesson is over, factoring out the GCF. We first want to start by talking about what GCF means. GCF stands for Greatest Common Factor. All that means is we want to find the biggest number that will divide evenly into all the numbers given, or divide so that we will get a whole number. In our first example, we want to look at all the numbers that we have listed here. So we have a 4, -8, and 16. To factor out the GCF, first we want to determine what the GCF is. So we want to look at all three of our numbers and decide what's the biggest number that I can divide all three of these by and not get decimals or fractions. Well, 4, 8, and 16 all have 4 in common, and 4 just so happens to be the GCF. So my next step is to take my GCF 4 and divide every term by it. When I divide every term by 4, what I need to do is bring the 4 out to the front. Then I start parentheses and write whatever's left inside of them. So 4 divided by 4, I would get 1, and then I'm not factoring out any variables, so it would stay x squared. Then my next term, -8 divided by 4, that gives me -2. Again, I'm not dividing by any variables, so I would keep the x there. The last one, 16 divided by 4, is 4. Since it's positive 4, I would write plus 4. And that would be my answer. My next example is just a little bit different. I still want to decide the biggest number that will go into all three of my numbers, -12, 6, and -15. However, when I decide my GCF now, I want it to be negative. That's because if my first term is negative, I need to factor out a negative number. So, -12, 6, and -15, the GCF there is 3, but again, since I have a negative first term, I'm not going to divide by 3, but by -3. When I'm dividing out my GCF, remember, I need to put it first and then start my parentheses. Then I just divide, put whatever's left inside the parentheses. So -12 divided by -3 gets me +4. B squared just stays as is. +6 divided by -3 is -2. We keep the B. -15 divided by -3 is +5. And that would be my answer. You can always check your answer by redistributing whatever the GCF is. In this last example, I encourage you to pause and try it out for yourself. Then you can unpause and then I'll explain the solution. So hopefully you've already worked this out on your own, but our first step is always the same: determine the GCF. So I have my three numbers here, 49, -21, and -14. The GCF between all three of these is 7, so I need to divide everything by 7. My 7 goes out in front, and I start my parentheses. Whatever's left when I divide goes inside. So 49 divided by 7 is 7. I keep x squared. -21 divided by 7 is -3. Keep my x. -14 divided by 7 is -2. And that would be my answer. Thank you for watching, and for more math tutorials, please subscribe to our channel, Friendly Math 101.